Boom. All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. This is the 30th episode
30th.
of Comic X.
Weeb!
That's right.
All right.
I am your co-host, James, aka Comics for Cheap, aka Delete Your Emails, aka DadBod100. And I got my co-host here with me.
It's your boy Chris, aka Black.
Oh God, we got music props now.
Santa, aka Chucky Y, aka Super Cold Water.
That's right. Hit that like button, smash it, subscribe if you haven't already.
Mash
all
it.
of you watching now or catching us on the replay, we appreciate all of you. I actually just also dropped a video on YouTube earlier today talking about where you can find the tattoo inserts inside a comic book. So check that out too if you haven't already.
Fire.
That's right.
Heck
That's
yeah.
right. And let's jump into it because we have had so much pop culture related stuff go down this week. It has been just a mecca, and I've just been looking forward to getting on this podcast and just breaking everything down that's been going down this week. So, Chris, I don't even know where you want to start, bud, but let's go ahead and jump us into a topic.
All right, man. Let's start with, since we both made references in our opening, let's start with John Gruden, the former head coach of the Oakland Raiders.
Well, the Vegas Raiders.
I'm sorry, you're right. Well, technically, I'm right too, but it is the Raiders. They are the Las Vegas Raiders, but you know he got fired as the Oakland Raiders too. What's so crazy about it? What's so crazy about it is that this dude got in trouble for stuff that wasn't initially meant for him. What I mean by that is they was investigating the Washington football team, and when they was investigating them, they saw the emails from Gruden that was sent to at the time Alan. I cannot remember his name, but he was one of the higher ups in the organization at the time. It was sent to him, so they saw the emails and was like, "Wait a minute, this is something's wrong here," and they send out the first one talking about the racist stuff, right?
Yes.
Which of course, Gruden said, he go on.
I was just going to ask real quick, what were they investigating about the Washington football team? Because I didn't know.
There's some shady stuff going on in there, so they're doing like basically a full investigation to see some of the like what the heck is actually going on in that organization. And the NFL is kind of being a little they're not saying too much about what's going on until they find out and I guess fully go into their investigation. They're kind of keeping a lot of things hush hush, so it's kind of like really hard to say what exactly is happening there.
Interesting.
But it seems like that organization always have something going on with them too. yeah, for real.
Can do it. Excellent. All right, yes.
It'll be something else we could talk about.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking forward to already.
Yeah, exactly. What lips are watering already. Gruden said some racially toned things. He was angry, and he said that the stuff he said when he called at the time. Well, I don't think he is. I can't remember if he still is, but whatever. At the time, the NFL Player Association he's calling people liars. He made racial remarks talking about tired black people lips and everything. He said it's what he preferred to people that's lying, but I ain't never heard anything like that. It was racist. And he didn't really apologize because John Gruden's not really a guy who really apologized. It's one of the most easiest things of, I ain't talking about it anymore. I made my statement. I apologize. About like a really weak apology. It was just one of those things like, stop asking me this question. I'm done talking about it. Blah, blah.
Right.
That's cool. Whatever. And some people were saying he should be fired for that. Me, as a black person, I don't think he should have been fired for that because it was made in 2011. And I don't believe the bullcrap of, he could have changed in the time frame because, again, no one would have known about this if Washington didn't get investigated,
Right.
or at least, something like that.
Could
But
have changed, but
it was
like,
made back
man,
then.
it's not like he was like 18. Like, you know how sometimes shit comes out about people who are big YouTube stars or famous or whatever. And this shit comes out from stuff that they said when they were like 16, 17, 18. Because we live now in a time where we did have shit immortalized on the internet at that time. So this man was 40 something. This is not like, I was 17 and didn't know what I was saying, which even that is like borderline, like, come on, dude. Like, if you can speak the English language, you kind of know what you were saying. But this is a 40-year-old man who absolutely knows what he's saying. But yeah, go ahead, continue.
Yep, 100% facts right there. So there wasn't going to be a thing of change, but I just felt that it wasn't something that can be. I feel, and I'm gonna bring this up a little bit later too, that you have to keep in context. I'll just wait till later to bring it up. But so he didn't get fired for that. It looked like it was going to be one of those things where it was okay. The NFL was waiting to see what the Raiders was going to do. Mark Davis, the owner, decided to do. He said he talked to Gruden, but that was going to be it. There wasn't going to be any punishment. The NFL wasn't really happy about that, especially because it kind of, you know how important the shield is. So the NFL wasn't the happiest about it, but I don't think they were going to do anything. They was just like, well, then they kept looking into it and found more emails. And it seemed like they was just like, oh, you're not going to do something? Well, bam, 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 and just started hitting them with everything this dude was saying and was like, we'll even hit you with stuff when he was a head coach from 2018, where he went on a tirade, calling the NFL, calling the NFL commissioner. He called him a pussy. Called him other names.
Yep.
He went off on saying that female should not be referees, which is like, what? Stop it. That's just stupid to say. Come on. He goes on and says other nonsense about Eric Reed, talking about that him kneeling was so disrespectful he should have been fired. And I'm like, dude, the league is 70% black, right? Do you really think this is gonna go very well with everybody? Like, this is bad.
Right. And then the shit he said about
funniest thing,
Michael Sam as well.
Okay, yeah. Yes.
Calling him a queer or something like that as well. Not in a nice way. Yeah.
Yes, he was very upset with one of the things he was upset with Commissioner Goodell for was allowing gay people to be drafted. He was upset about that, which is really funny about it is that on his team is what people are saying, like basically the first openly gay NFL player is currently on his team playing defense. He's playing pretty well too. He's doing some good work out there. Like you have him on your team, and then you say that,
right? And
it's like the funny thing about it is that Keyshawn Johnson, who was a Super Bowl champion on the team that won the Super Bowl, a wide receiver, a very underrated wide receiver, really good player.
Underrated? That dude was a monster.
He was, but the thing is, when people talk about the great receivers, he don't get mentioned. You'll hear, T.O., Randy Moss, obviously Jerry Rice, who people say is the best. You hear all those guys, but you don't really hear his name. You'll hear like Chad name before him, Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson, whatever. You'll hear his name before Keyshawn. You'll hear like Torrey Holt. You'll hear Starvin Marvin Harrison, but you don't hear Keyshawn's name.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I don't really like that. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's a
But
good
anyway,
player. Yeah.
he said all this stuff beforehand. He said this stuff beforehand, that this is who John Gruden was, that he would smile in your face, but he would, when you walk around the corner, I freaking hate that guy. He's a bastard, blah, 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 and say some really messed up stuff, but no one wanted to believe that. Well, Keyshawn was right.
Yeah.
He wasn't wrong at all. He said this years ago, and people was like, oh, Keyshawn's a diva. He's just mad because Gruden never liked him. No, it's bull crap. He's lying. No, no, he wasn't.
The whole situation, first of all, it was a whirlwind. I mean, between Sunday and Monday, it all fucking came down. I remember listening to the statement Sunday, and then it piqued my interest, so I kind of looked into what was going on, and I was like, I can't believe that this man is about to get away, because it seemed like he was just going to get away with the whole thing on Sunday.
Yes.
He released his little press conference statement, blah blah blah. I'm not racist. I can't believe you think I'm racist, etc., etc. I have black teammates. Like, that's pretty much the vibe I was getting. Like, I'm not racist. I got black people on my team.
Yeah,
like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
everybody does.
yeah. And then goes into Monday, and all of a sudden he's saying he's resigned because all these other emails came out. And I know this may not be 100% the case, but it seemed like to me that the NFL was willing to look past the racist shit, and even like to a point like the women hating shit, the misogyny shit, and then but once the gay shit came up, like, that's when they were like, nope, can't do it, and shut him down, kind of thing. And I was just like, he should have been shut down. First of all, he should have been shut down when the emails were coming out 10 years ago. But as soon as that first one came out, I mean, how do you even command respect for the team that you're leading when some shit like that comes out? You know what I mean? Like, you think, especially like you said, one of the people that he was talking about is on his team. Like, named him directly. You can't. I don't know. So, I'm just blown away by what happened. But I mean, it is the Raiders. They are a pretty self-sabotaging team as it goes. No, I'm just kidding. But Josh, like, the Gruden shit, man, it's wild. Like, for real.
What makes it even crazier is that, like I was telling you, he's on like the wrong team to say that stuff. It was literally like against what the Raiders represent, because this is a team that has hired the first Hispanic head coach or whatever, hired the first black head coach, hired, I think they're basically the first team to put a woman in an NFL position. Like, I think she's like an executive. She's very highly up there. Like, this team has done all that, and you can just think deep down, he probably hated that move, having her in her spot, which is sad. This is like Al Davis was the definition of the. Yeah, like, Al Davis is one of the reasons why the Rooney, the rule is you got to at least, even though this rule is really bad, because all it says is you have to at least give a black head coach an opportunity to be interviewed. It's kind of a really bad rule that the NFL had to make a rule like that, because you could see how badly racist the NFL was when you have to make a rule like that. Oh, you have to at least interview a black guy, and that still sounds bad, and it still doesn't get the job done at all, because you can see how many black head coaches we have, and people have complained about that rule and the situation for a long, long time. But anyway, like, Al Davis in that organization has been the opposite of everything Gruden put there. And then you say all that stuff, and you say that stuff in 2018. You email, and this thing is interesting because it wasn't just the Washington guy that he was emailing. It was also one of the co-founders of Hooters. And it was somebody from higher up in the All Back Bowl, which is in like Tampa Bay, and it was some other Tampa Bay organization, like some food restaurant. Like, it was the definition of the old good boys club. It was the definition of that nonsense. And it was terrible that he would do that. But the reason why I thought that he would not be fired, or they couldn't really do too much, is because of the dumbest contract I think in NFL history to me, to give a head coach $100 million guaranteed. Players aren't getting that. And you gave a head coach, which is the dumbest thing to do. You gave a head coach that offer. Yep. And then now you're in a situation where if they were to fire him, they have to pay him all of his money, and his money goes on the cap. So they would have to continuously pay him. Ooh. Because I know in the NBA, I think the NFL is similar. In the NBA, when you got a person on your cap and you release them, in a really weird way, to make the cap right, you can't just pay them their full contract instantly and then it's over. You basically have to pay them for like years to come. And you can stretch it out where you'll pay that dude. It could be like a 3-year contract, and you end up paying this dude, depending on the money, for the next 7 years because you stretched it out on your cap to make sense in how things go.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, bruh, what are you gonna do? And I didn't think he was gonna get fired. And I also looked at this part, and I want your opinion on this one. Okay. My thing is, I think everything Gruden said was disgusting, wrong, and he does not have a place in the NFL. And I think, honestly, personally, his career is over. I don't think anybody's going to hire him. He's not going to go back to ESPN because he made ESPN look like garbage because of the crap that he said, because he's employed by them. The NFL, he disrespected the entire NFL, so he's not ever going to be a coach again. And I don't see anybody hiring. I don't see CBS hiring him or Fox or any of those guys hiring him. That's just bad publicity. So I think Chucky is done. I think he's done, and he deserves to keep when you're that stupid. But I want to also put this in there. This is the way people talk when they're around friends. And I think sometimes people need to also understand this. This is one of my other reasons why when the first email, I think it was wrong, and it's annoyed me to hell. Like, I didn't like that garbage. I hate racism. But you got to also look at it as he thought he was with his friend. He thought he was emailing his friend or whatever. Shows the times
company
of how
email
old he is. He's emailing in 2011. But I just wanted to say that people do talk. Like, there's a lot of things I would say me and you talk about that we would never want the world to hear it. And I think everybody has those conversations where they talk to somebody and they don't, it's personal conversations you don't want other people to hear. So I do think we need to understand that we have to look at it in the grand scheme of things and not just look at it as we have to be angry because someone tells you to be angry. Please understand why you're mad, but at least look at the whole picture too. What do you think?
I will agree with you to a certain point where you and I would have conversations, let's say like in the back room, the stock room, while we're doing stuff before the store opens, etc. That, you know what, like, we joke around about some wild stuff. Never really crossing the line of what this dude was saying, but it's, we say some silly stuff, but the difference is I didn't jump on the company email and be like, let me email Chris this really funny racist joke that I just heard about and send it and then that can be looked up from literally anybody in the company. So while yes, I agree that some of the stuff that we say, probably wouldn't fly if, and not even on like a broad world scale view, just like we wouldn't say it in front of a district manager or something like that. You know what I mean?
No.
So yes,
we wouldn't make that joke in front of them.
Right. But at the same time, we weren't putting it on official company letterhead and then passing it around like that either. So there is definitely a difference when it comes to that. And again,
and like you said, we weren't saying anything. What the garbage he was saying,
hateful,
misogynist, racist, garbage, just straight up hateful. It's one thing when you're joking and you're making like a joke with each other, and it's nothing against anybody else.
Yeah, exactly. So if he were to say something like, "Oh, women referees, what are they're gonna call something that happened 2 weeks ago, bring that stuff back up around or something," like a silly, your wife brings up an old argument type joke.
Yeah, like girls do not let things go. It'd be like 6 months later, like, you remember what happened? Like, I don't remember that. Yes, you do.
You remember that pass interference though, and like something like that. But but not like women can't be.
No, they shouldn't have the
referees.
job.
Right. So there's a clear difference. And it's just that is like between something that's obviously, you probably still wouldn't say that in front of your boss, like that, the joke about, they're gonna bring some shit up from 6 months ago. But that's clearly a joke. And as opposed to this person shouldn't be hired, period, because they are a woman. So
Yes. Yeah.
That's how I feel about that.
And definitely where the world is today, you definitely gotta be. And again, like I said, he's emailing on company stuff that obviously the NFL was easily able to get because it went to the Washington, at the time, Redskins, the Washington football team's freaking emails that's still there because it's company stuff. So it's like, how don't you don't even like personally email my man at his house or something? And it was 2011. You ain't texting. You ain't just calling him. Like, why would you email anything like that? Like, honestly, you should never hit send if you think for a second something's not right here. That this could be, this isn't right. Why would you hit send to the company's email? How stupid are you?
Very clear.
Or how arrogant, I guess I should say, he really was.
That's another thing. I'm sure, and especially at that time, cancel culture wasn't a thing in 2011. Not that, again, not excusing it, but cancel culture wasn't a thing in 2011.
No, definitely not excusing it. No,
ripping people like nationally. It had to be something big. It had to be like Monica Lewinsky. Like she got dragged pretty hard for giving a blowjob. It's like every woman's giving a blowjob. Shut the fuck up. But you know what I mean. So, but like it wasn't with social media. I guess wasn't to a point. That it is, where everyone just wants to get someone fired. And like, I think on one level, it's pretty soft, but like on another level, exposing some shit like that will get you in a lot of trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I fully agree. And just on my last part of it, I just want to make sure I clarify. I'm definitely in no way, shape, or form saying what he said is right or good or anything. I'm just saying that everybody has conversations that they think are private. They're going to say things that other people would see and think is wrong or get angry about. That's just the way the world is in general. So I think people should also look at it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had any level of fame, he's a bastard.
Right. If I had any level of fame, dude, like a coach, athlete, movie star, whatever, dude, I would not have any social media, period. I would not, nothing. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, no. I would hire a PR person, and then I would hire that PR person, his own PR person, and they could figure it out amongst themselves about what they want to put on social media. I would stay off all that shit. I mean, I'd probably have like some random, account that you would never know it was me, so that I could be
like Kevin Durant and his burner accounts.
Yeah, but he got you that it's Kevin Durant. I'm saying like you would never fucking know it was me.
Yeah, we was easily able to find out.
Kevin Durant's over there like, I'm so sneaky with his like 17 burner accounts that all say like Kevin Durant 1, Kevin Durant 2, Kevin Durant's my favorite NBA player. Like, come on, KD. We know who it is.
Like, KD.
Come on, son. But dude, I would just not, because like I say some wild shit, and like it's still not on the level of some of these people, but like I just know that people would be digging. People are digging right now. Like that's all they do. They got time apparently to just go back 12 years and find some shit that you said 12 years ago. They did that shit to Kevin Hart when he got the job for the Oscars. And you didn't really have to dig for that. He said the same shit in a special that was on Netflix, but it's the same kind of thing. It was from however many years ago. And then they're just trying to cancel you just because you're famous, and you get like a big gig or whatever it is, and then they go after you for that. So that's just where I'm at on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you, man. And I think that's the perfect transition to go into the next story, which I think you should definitely hit everybody up, let them know what's going on with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle released his Netflix, and this is like right exactly what you're talking about. This all goes right in that Dave Chappelle released his final episode or final special for Netflix called The Closer, where I don't really think, I mean, he had some jokes peppered in, but I think it was really more of a statement than anything else. Where if you like, a lot of people are mad, so I'm gonna have to tiptoe around this because I love Dave Chappelle. I do. Yeah. I just do. So for me, I understood what he was saying in the special. Could he have worded it a little differently at some points? Sure. But like people are furious with him because basically the entire time he's talking about and he's not talking about the LGBTQ community, specifically the transgender community, and about basically, and this kind of ties in with the coach thing too, but like basically saying that how come, as far as marginalized communities go, like he's specifically the Black community and the gay community, that they have progressed so much faster and can get away with so much more necessarily than the Black community. That's what I took away from it. Yeah. Is basically he's saying that with all the progression that's come along so far for everyone and everything, it is still easier for them to not receive hate or whatever it is than it is for the Black community to not receive hate. And of course, people were taking lines out of context, quoting like one line before he said the next part of the sentence and just kind of posting it in an article. Those were getting circled, and everyone's calling for not only that special to be taken down, but for Netflix to take everything down that he's ever done because of this. I don't think that should be the case. I really like, again, like I said, I understand what he's saying, and I don't think that there's that much like ill will. There's not really malintent against the gay and trans community. When he was like saying stuff like, how come it was easier for Bruce Jenner to become Caitlyn Jenner, and the world just accepted that next day, Woman of the Year on magazines, etc., etc. If you talk bad about it or dead name Caitlyn, you're instantly shit on. But Muhammad Ali had so much issue and problem just changing his name from Cassius Clay. So I agree. I agree.
No, you're right, man. Like honestly, you're right. Everything you said, I'm fully agree with you on. And that's the thing that I hate about the media. That if I was like you said, famous, if I was like a basketball player or something like that, that would just drive me insane and would make like I'll be somewhat closer to how Bill Belichick and Greg Popovich answer questions, where it's very simple, quick answers like, what are you going to do about the Bengals? We're going to prepare very well for them. And we'll go from there. Are you quick, simple answers?
Questions. Where it's like, what else? What do you expect me to say? What do you think we need to do going into the second half here? Well, we probably need to score, and we probably need to stop the other team from scoring. Just like every other fucking game that we've ever played, you stupid idiot. Like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like just this one here that I'm gonna get to the point real quick, but this one here that I always love is when like the guy asked Chris Paul, the NBA, when he was part of the Clippers, and was like, Chris, do you think you guys are gonna come back here to play? And he paused and was like, what? He was like, do you think you're gonna come back here and play? He was like, how do you expect me to answer that? Like, oh no, we're gonna lose the next game, so no, we're not gonna come back here and play. Of course, we're gonna come. Like, what? That's like he was like, come on, man. These guys are laughing at you for a reason. That was a terrible question. You could do better, and he's right because that's a dumb question to ask the player. Like, what do you want to say? Oh no, we're gonna lose the next game. We're not coming back to play anymore. I'm gonna pack my bags now and make sure my locker room's cleared out because we're not coming back to play. Like, that's a stupid question that can only be answered with like, duh, we're coming back to play. What is your give me a better answer than that, dude? What's wrong with you? But anyway, the media will take one sentence you say and plop it on a article and then say, this is what so-and-so said. And then everybody else will follow suit because it's like the hottest thing to do. And then it's like, but what about the rest of the actual story? That's why a lot of times when this stuff comes out, you'll see that one sentence or a couple of phrases, but you don't get the actual full story, and then you don't know what that player or person or celebrity actually said and what was the actual context behind it. They just want to make sure they can put out the hottest thing. And I felt that's a lot of things that happened to Dave too. That, like you said when we were talking earlier, I don't like a lot of people probably didn't even really watch it fully, and they just picked apart that one thing, and then everybody started forming their opinion.
Right. And they've already had an opinion formed because the trans and most of the gay community already disliked Dave Chappelle. So all they needed was one article to say whatever. And they were like, yeah, that sounds like, my hatred for Dave Chappelle, share. And, has Dave Chappelle kind of dug that grave? Sure, a little bit, making jokes. But how come, here's another question, just because we're talking about Dave Chappelle. How come Dave Chappelle can talk about literally everyone and everything, and he does shit on everyone, black people, white people, gay people, straight people? He makes fun of everyone, dude. But as soon as like he makes a couple but he can't say something that's related to you. Like as soon as he makes a joke about you, like you like all of a sudden, oh no, now he's crossed the line. But like I don't feel like he's crossed the line with the myriad of white jokes that he's made. Like that's funny as fuck. I laugh along with just like it. Like it's hilarious. But like, it is like one or two gay jokes and all of a sudden like this man he can no longer do comedy, blah blah. Like, come on, son, get the stick out of your ass. And like here's growing up, if I didn't like someone or I didn't like something or whatever, someone saying some stuff I don't agree with, I changed the channel. I know this is a crazy concept, Chris, but I would just change the channel and move on with my day. I didn't write a blog about it. I didn't fucking cry about it. I know it's crazy. That doesn't make sense. But
that doesn't make sense. You're supposed to cry. You're supposed to get angry. You're supposed to send emojis. You're supposed to send vicious remarks to that person and let him understand how you are feeling, and then let the world understand how you're feeling, and then send the selfies of yourself being sad.
Send a selfie of myself
with the emoji.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like I get that now he's probably not going to do a special again. Like I've accepted that just because of how the internet has reacted, and he already like predicted that kind of on stage when he was doing the special. He's like, this is going to be my last one for a while, and I'm probably going to be whatever roasted for this. And yeah, I get it, but this man he had to make like almost $200 million in the last 5 years. I wouldn't do another special either. Shit, I'd relax with that. Yeah, no reason.
And here's the thing: you gotta understand, Dave Chappelle has been, at least from my understanding, he's been very well with his money, and he's been one of those guys who he doesn't do this for money, because you gotta remember, and this is the thing when when you think about guys who are like, oh, what they're gonna, you want to do what's right to your personal beliefs, or are you gonna do what everybody else say, blah blah. This dude was the hottest thing when the Chappelle show was out. He was the guy. And then he decided himself, I'm done. I'm good. I want to take a break, and I'm going to take a long break. So we're not going to renew anything because I'm not going to be gone for like 6 months to a year. I'm not even going to be gone for 2 years. I'm going to be gone for a while. So it's no need for us to redo anything and then I'll come back. No, I'm going to be gone. And everybody's like, dude, you're the hottest thing in the world right now, pretty much. Like, what are you, comedy-wise, what are you doing? He's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. It showed right then and there. It wasn't the money. Because the smart, if it was about the money, you don't turn that down. You keep going. You keep going. You milk it until you can't do anymore. Until they tell you, all right, we're going to have to shut it down. You keep on going. Because they was offering him more and more. They kept offering him money to come back and stay. And he kept saying no.
Yep.
So
100%.
Dave's been one of those guys where I don't think it's not about the money. It's about what he likes.
Right. Yeah. No, 100%. He does stand up for what he believes in. And he does know, he does know the impact of his words because that's why he left. He was like, it bothered him that people were laughing the wrong way about the wrong things that he was doing. And even then at that time, Viacom and Comedy Central kept pushing him to do more and more racist shit. And he was like, I feel like I'm tap dancing for y'all on a stage. And that's why he decided, and good on him, that he was just going to walk away from the contract of $50 million and take a little time for himself. Yeah, he went to Africa to do whatever the fuck you want, Dave. Like, why? I just like, people called him crazy, insane. He's gone off his rocker, this, that, and the other. They tried to make him out as a villain just because he didn't like, the shit that was going down. And I've got nothing but respect because I don't know if I would have been able to turn down $50 million, Chris. That'd be a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't it'd be very hard to do.
Be,
especially
because there's two things I know. I know, especially 20 years ago. Even right now, it'd still be great. But here's the thing I know that I've never heard anybody say. At least two things I've never heard that they had too much of: time and money. Right. Those are the things I've never heard anybody truly say they had too much of. So it's hard to say. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn that down, bro. I have enough money. I don't need any more money. Because even when I say Dave ain't do it for like money and everything, like that wasn't his main focus. No point in time Dave Chappelle say he was like, "Oh, I don't need any more money." Period. There's a reason why he got a great deal for his stuff. So I'm just saying, like, it wasn't all about the money. But I've never heard anybody just be like, "Yeah, I'm good. I got enough money. You don't have to pay me any more. Nothing. I'm good." So I mean, props to him for turning that down. Because I don't know if I could have neither. I might have been like the Simpsons, and we still going. We still going. Our jokes are stale as shit, but we still going.
It ain't even the same.
I don't even know why we still going, but we still here.
Is Matt Groening even a part of this? I said, is Matt Groening even a part of the Simpsons anymore? Like, is it the same?
Dude, I don't even know.
I don't.
Like,
I don't
honestly,
think so.
I kind of stopped watching the Simpsons, not because I really got bored of them. I just haven't had time to sit there and just really watch. So I'm like couple of years, maybe longer than that, behind on what's going on. I just know every time I turn around, it's like a new commercial. The Simpsons season 355 is about to start. Oh, okay, so that's still strong.
That's true,
I guess.
Because I know. I feel like Matt Groening was kind of out when he did Futurama, and like he was just like, "Oh, let me do Futurama," and which was also a great show. I don't think that's still going. But yeah, Futurama, and then
Futurama came back and then ended. Yeah, it ended.
I think his name is still attached to The Simpsons, but I don't think he's doing any I think it's like the same as Seth MacFarlane with Family Guy. Like, I think his name is still attached. He does voice work or whatever. I don't think he actually sits down and pens and draws the episodes no more.
Yeah, probably
not. South Park though, those motherfuckers are still going strong too. Golly, I can't believe it, dude. They're also on season 25 or something. Now, I've been going back and rewatching some of the stuff, man. Like some of the Prime seasons. Like, oh my god, funny. Dude, it's like
so funny, dude.
That's a show that would not if it started today. There's no fucking way. Mm-hmm. There's no way that they would have lasted.
It was when it first came out.
Yep. Oh my god, but that show is also funny. So they just bought a very famous restaurant or something. The two of them, Trey Parker, Matt Stone, something in Colorado that they bought for like $3.5 million. It was like some famous, something crazy. But they were like, oh yeah, this is our new project where now we have a restaurant. I'm like, what? Like, what? Are they gonna do like dinner theater or something?
If I ever go to Colorado, I have to go visit now. So.
Yeah, I gotta go.
I would go to the restaurant.
A grilled cheese or something over there because shit's gonna be expensive.
Oh, speaking of which, what you need to do, Dino, since you're heading out, you need to go to Eminem Spaghetti restaurant.
Oh yeah, I heard that he got some. He buy a restaurant or like something?
Yeah, he either bought it or opened it, but it's like a spaghetti restaurant where it's like a bunch of different spaghetti type meals, like spaghetti sandwiches and everything. Yeah, so you need to go there, and then you need to sit and eat something.
I'll ask Justin if that's on the plan for this weekend, because I am going to Detroit.
If he says no, then you make it part of the plan.
Yeah, I'll be like, well, it's part of the plan now, bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I am going to Detroit this weekend, going to Motor City Con. I was very jealous of everyone who got to attend New York Comic Con this last weekend. I was unable to go this year. Hopefully next year I will be able to attend that one. That one's just a pricey one, dude. When it comes to, I'm about to kill Black Santa.
It's gonna die on camera. Cool. All right.
But New York Comic Con, I mean, between the plane ticket, your hotel or lodging or wherever you're staying, even if you're splitting it with like a group of people, it's still expensive to stay in New York. And then just to get the tickets, you have to pay to be entered into like a lottery system for a chance to get the tickets, which this year, because they were requiring Vax cards and everyone wanted to throw their hissy fit, it was a lot easier to get tickets this year. But usually you'd spend that $100 just to go into the lottery system, and there's a good chance that you're not going to get tickets to the convention. So while that was all going on, before they announced the Vax stuff and while they were making plans and everything, I was just unable to get it all together to go. So I was disappointed, but I'm sure everyone had an awesome time. I got to live vicariously through people seeing what they were posting and everything. It looked like everyone had a blast. But now I'm going to Motor City Con, and Alexis and I just signed all our paperwork and stuff for our to get courthouse wedding at the end of the month. So technically, this weekend's gonna be like my bachelor party.
Oh wow! And I'm not even gonna be there, so that's just.
I mean, it's not like really a bachelor party. Like I'm calling it the bachelor party. You know what I mean? So. Chris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess we have to go to Mom's Spaghetti. Dude.
An experience you're gonna do without me as well. All right. That was a good scream, James. I think we can wrap this up now. Y'all all this. Oh my God. So transition, because I am actually, pretty upset about this situation. You want to talk about Superboy or Superman now?
Oh, Jonathan Kent. Oh yeah, I guess we might as well, since everyone's mad about everything else in the news. We might as well talk about this one too. Yep. So Superboy, Jonathan Kent now has officially been is bisexual, declared bisexual by DC, has a boyfriend, love interest, and had the panel of them kissing that went viral pretty much instantly. It was all over my news feed and anytime I opened up any kind of social media, because obviously the algorithm feeds me everything comic related, that is what I saw. And oh my gosh, the responses are so hateful and so ridiculous. Very negative. That it was disappointing every time that I saw someone saying some hateful shit, that I was like trying to refresh, and then just another person that was hateful would pop up, and I was just like, man, I'm gonna have to look at, like, I had to stay off Instagram pretty much for a day. I was just like, this is ridiculous. And I don't like that people are so in their feelings about it. Because none of these motherfuckers were reading Superboy. Like, I could just blanket statement that fact that none of you motherfuckers, like, come on, son. Like, first of all, everyone, like, when they were saying the shit about Tim Drake, they were like, we have even had this discussion of changing established characters. Jonathan Kent is a very new character. He's new. Like, new enough that they can write whatever that they want to write about him. It's fine. I don't care. He's fictional. It's not affecting you at all. So for people to be this upset where, like, their whole day is ruined and they're not reading this, they're not going to be supporting DC Comics going forward or whatever it is. It's like, really, man? Like, I don't know. Because it's like that kind of shit, even if he was around, let's say for 25 years, let's say someone in your family is 25 years old and they come out to you, like, you thought they were straight for the last 25 years, and now 25th birthday or whatever, they come out and, you know what, I need to have something personal to talk to you about, blah blah, I'm gay, lesbian, whatever, bisexual. And then that's like, after seeing your reaction to a fucking fictional character, that's like, that is not good reinforcement for people who are actually living through that struggle, to come forward to their family or their friends or whoever, about who they are as a person, because now you're looking at them differently, etc. And that's how you respond to a fucking like a drawing. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, God damn.
Okay. It's definitely interesting. It was a lot of negative responses. Here's the thing, too, though, that I do want to make sure was pointed out. So there was even, I will say this, there was even some pushback from the gay, the gay community or whatever. They didn't like a lot of it neither.
They didn't. You said they didn't like with Superboy?
There was some negative towards it too, from them as well.
Sure.
So that was something that I thought was very interesting.
But I think that I don't know, because I don't know, but was their negativity probably wasn't necessarily hateful towards LGBTQ.
No, it was not hateful whatsoever. You know, it was not like hateful what some people like what other people doing. And that's the part I agree with you on. There's no need for that hateful garbage and everything, because like you said, that can make things harder for other people. But the thing that I thought was my only concern is I don't know if DC is doing this for positive reasons at all. Or if they don't, I think they're doing this for the shock value at this point. And they're doing this just to get a pop from people, because let's be honest, a lot of DC stuff ain't popping right now. So what's the best way to get a pop and get the reaction you want? Oh, let's do this. Let's pop it out, because a lot of articles are running it as. Because when I first saw it, and I saw multiple articles sent to me too, they were saying Superman is gay now. And I was like, what?
Oh,
what?
So they were trying.
This man what? Left Lois and tried to go, like, what happened here? He left Lois and went to Lex? Like, what happened here?
He went to Lex.
They were saying that. Gotta keep it out.
Can you imagine? I'm gonna write that fucking series. Oh, people would be so mad. Oh my god. Oh man, Superman.
James, I would be one of them. I'll be one of them. You're not writing that.
Oh man, Superman just taking it up the butt from Lex Luthor. Oh my god. And then they run the world together. I'm writing it, bro. It's happening. It's already being constructed in my mind. Are they good? Are they
little
evil?
Thing for Lex, he rubs Lex's head and everything. Like, enough. So
Lex is like, you ever come on a bald guy's head? Superman's like, no, but I'm about to.
Yeah. What the fuck, man? Yo, why does these episodes get so?
JBK's dad says, I've always considered Kryptonians gay, so no big things to me. Amen, brother.
Fuck both of y'all. So you got me forgetting what I was trying to freaking say now, you bastard.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so the websites were saying
came on the board. What the hell, dude?
Bro, that's a line straight out of my comic book that's coming out soon.
Oh yeah, it's not coming out, bro. I'm telling you, I'll make sure of it. No, but it's just it is interesting because
you were saying
I understand where you're coming from, because it's like
you were saying that the article
because you're like
Superman,
like what you
gay,
because right, it was saying that Superman was gay, and it was the weird part about that was like I was like, what the hell's going on? But then when you read it, they're talking about Superboy, who is becoming basically like Superman. I get all that, and he's basically like the next Superman, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But I think it's also too to look at it on the other side. I think there is a lot of people who don't want to have Superman. If you want to say Clark, Jonathan is going to be the next Superman. Let's just call it what it is. They don't want to have Superman looked at as gay. They want Superman to be the manliest thing that he can be. And I think that's what got a lot of people upset too.
Right. Yeah. JBK's dad says DC will retcon the whole thing, blame it on Rainbow Kryptonite. Or do you remember Rainbow Batman? That was a thing too, like way back. It was a long time ago.
No, I remember Rainbow Kryptonite too, though. You remember that, don't you, James?
I don't remember Rainbow Kryptonite. I remember Rainbow Batman.
It's basically something that can it turns you gay.
It turns you gay? I didn't know that.
It can turn Superman gay.
Superman has had some weird storylines though, man. I remember there's a storyline.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
There's a storyline where Lois Lane goes into a machine that basically
becomes black.
Blackface. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like Superman stories are no stranger to like odd situations for sure. Questionable to say the least. Yeah. But yeah, I mean that was one of the posts that I saw yesterday or the day before or whatever that Superman reflects all of the American values and he's supposed to be a big strong dude, like he can't be gay. And I was like, it's just I don't know. That's just like why not? Why can't he be? You know what I mean? There's all different types of people in the world. There, be a big strong gay dude. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Again, we're arguing about a fucking fictional character.
Well, see, my only pushback on that is a lot of people do take a lot of inspiration from these fictional characters. So they have their likes and they really love these characters and they don't want certain things to happen to these characters. It's like, what if they came out and said they're never going to do anything else with Spider-Man? Like he's done. He's going to be out of the MCU. And they're going to completely cancel his comics. Would you not have any effect on you at all?
I'd be upset for sure.
So you would see, there you go. You would be, you even use the word upset. So this makes them upset because they really see a lot in somebody like Superman. Superman's my favorite. And a lot of things I hate what they do to him at times where they're weakening him for no reason or have him like a freaking jobber. Look like he's fucking Dolph Ziggler out there. I love you, Dolph, but they make you like a jobber way too damn much. And Dolph Ziggler is amazing. Though you can go, but they make you look. They make him look bad at times, or stupid, or racist with that one. Even though that was a long time ago, but that story was that wasn't one of Superman's brightest moments there because he really was like, "No, Lois, you need to go back to being a white woman now." It was basically it was some really interesting undertones there. But anyway,
I made someone read that comic book. They bought it just because they knew kind of like what happened, and kid's 21, black kid, and I was like, bro, you need to read that story. Like you need to like you can't sell that book without being able to like talk about it a little bit. I was like, just read it because it's gonna astound you the shit that's in that book. You read it like 30 minutes later, he got back to me, he's like, bro, what the fuck? It's like, I fucking told you, dude.
Exactly.
I told you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'll admit that's not one of Superman's brightest moments, and he's had some really weird moments and stories. But people do see these characters. Let's see what my man here said while I drink this water.
He said, if my house is on fire and some firefighter comes busting in through the door and pulls my kids out to safety, I'm not going to care who flips his pancake. But if a guy in a green Speedo comes to help, oh, hell no. That is also that's a good point. That's a good point. There's
about
gay firemen,
pancakes and Speedos.
There's gay firemen. There's gay, cops and shit. They come help and save you. I'm sure they gay cops.
No, exactly. That's very true. That's very true. Like it is what it is on that aspect. That's true. It's just my only thing will always be against established characters, and then like I'm with you on this one now. Jonathan Kent, in the grand scheme of things, is more of a newer character. He hasn't been around that long.
Because Super Sons
Jonathan hasn't even been around 10 years, right?
No, because Super Sons was starting when you got me back into comics. So really wasn't that long ago.
Right.
That was the shit with Damian and
it wasn't that long ago. And then he was still a kid. So now he's growing. So that's different. He's growing.
I know he's
making
about Namor.
That's fair. It's just one of those things where they're making his character what he's going to be. But again, I don't think DC is doing it out of the aspect of, oh, well, this is just the decision we're going with here. I really, truly think they're just doing it for the pop at this point. Because some of their biggest stories have been stuff like this. Like, honestly, since the crap that happened with Tim Drake, what else has happened with DC? In terms of like a big pop story, like a big thing that got them notarized all over.
I don't know, because I don't really not keeping up with the modern comics as much, so I really couldn't tell you.
No, I get that, but still, this hit you. This still got to you. Has anything else got to you from them outside of Tim Drake? Because that got to you too.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're not killing it in the they're not, to me, they're not putting out these great stories at all. And I am still reading. I have read Jonathan Kent, and these stories aren't really that amazing. Like Marvel is really starting to take back over. For a while, DC was really killing it, but Marvel is definitely starting to take over in a lot of ways. And their stories, their X-Men stories, are so much more interesting. Just their Spider-Man stuff, like things is so much more interesting. Where DC is just fucking it up again. Like I don't understand. So I feel like they use this to get them some pop and get back into the mainstream. And that's the reason why I was just like, it just seems kind of lame. But at the same time, I really, honestly, I don't care.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there too. So using it as like a writing crutch is what you're saying. Instead of
that's the only time.
It's
definitely. I definitely think that too. Yes, instead of thinking of really compelling stories and figuring things out, this was the best thing they can do. And
that is a fair argument. 100%. That is a fair argument to make. It's not what I was seeing online for sure recently.
No, me
neither.
As far
as me neither. Against it. So, but yeah, that is 100. If you're thinking that it's that it's just a lazy crutch to for a writing story, sure. But if you just don't,
because in terms of Jonathan Kent being gay, I have no issues with that. No issues at all. If he's gay, cool. He's a more newer character. Make things, create. I'm fine with that. In terms of him being gay, no issues at all. This isn't one like Tim Drake, which I wasn't a fan of that. This is totally different. No problem. The problem is, I like my argument, like you were saying, I definitely feel this was a writer's crutch. And this was just one of those things where they was like, how can we put ourselves back and have all the people talking about us in these stories? Let's turn the guy who we're grooming to be Superman gay. Oh, this is definitely going to get us up there. Like, that's just disappointing. That's how I feel about it. And DC
Okay.
has not done anything to kind of sway me differently. So
I feel you. I can respect that opinion for sure. Also, we have some more news as far as comic related stuff goes. Not Namor. God damn it, JBK's dad got Namor in my head now. But Warlock was casted for the MCU.
Adam.
Officially confirmed, Mr. Adam Warlock, the gold skinned dude that he is now going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So my question.
Oh, he was confirmed. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it just happened. Like it was just confirmed yesterday.
Oh.
So here's my question. Do you think he's going to be evil, like right out the gate, like they're gonna go towards the Magus kind of version of him? Do you think that he's going to have anything to do with like trying to revitalize an Infinity Stone storyline? Do you think what do you think he's gonna bring to the game plan?
Wow, that is interesting because with the Guardians of the Galaxy, have they even said who their villain is in this movie?
No, so they've confirmed High Evolutionary, but said that he's not going to be a major antagonist. He's just going to have to do with Rocket. Basically, he created Rocket, and then now they've confirmed Adam Warlock, and could he be the main antagonist?
He could be. Maybe he is going to be the main antagonist. And be one of those things where he's not completely like evil,
right?
But they're going to have to stop whatever his plan is. I can see that being the case, where whatever he's doing is what's conflicting with the situation. They're going to have to stop him, or maybe something tips the new Gamora, well, the current Gamora, into thinking that he's somebody like something dealing with her father, and he gets to go in the galaxies to go after him for something like that. It's some interesting stuff they can do with him.
Gustavo says it was random news, but I'm interested too to see what he does. Yeah, I'm definitely interested because I mean Warlock could link us to a lot of stuff. Warlock was friends with Thanos, like he was chilling. He's got a lot of stuff with Silver Surfer, Nova, Galactus, even if we want to go down that that path. If they link him to the Soul Gem, then they could potentially use that to resurrect Natasha and Gamora. Nah, they can stay dead. It's cool. Nah, they're good.
Well, I mean, I don't think I know. Marvel has put out that BS friendly thing of like, oh, we look forward to doing stuff with Natasha now that with Scarlett Johansson. Now that things are I don't think she's gonna be Black Widow anytime soon.
No,
so I don't think they're bringing her back too soon. So I can see maybe the other Gamora coming back. I can see her coming back.
I don't think so either, because it's just an interesting dynamic now for that character.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's just me. I don't think I'm probably more with you saying they're not going to, but I can see them bringing her back and they two Gamoras fight each other. So
I don't know. Oh yeah, man. I don't think that's gonna happen. But it was good. It was exciting news to get some Warlock because they teased the Cocoon at the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, like as an end credit scene, and then they just did nothing. But I mean, like that was a pretty big tease for them to do absolutely nothing with. You know what I mean? Especially as far back as that movie was.
That was a lot of my hope that they was gonna put Adam Warlock in there.
Yeah, especially with Thanos coming up and everything like that. I was like, oh shit, all right, we about to really see a SmackDown go down. But yeah, so I am excited. I'm not as excited about the kid that they cast. However, we have all been surprised by Marvel casting in the past with, just being blown away by performances from RDJ all the way through. So I'm not going to let it limit how I think about it. But did you see the movie We're the Millers? That's what he's probably best known in. That's the one where he pretends
I
to
might.
be.
I don't know. The name ain't ringing a bell, but I don't know if I did or not. I don't think so.
Where like this dude has to move a whole bunch of marijuana from Mexico to the United States, so he gets together like a ragtag team that pretend to be a family, and they fucking go get the weed to bring back.
I heard about it and I saw like pieces of it when I was at a friend's house taking care of something, but I never seen the whole movie. But I do know what movie you're talking about. Yes,
it's hilarious. If you haven't seen, like, you
right.
should. I would highly recommend you sitting down to watch the whole thing. It's fucking hilarious. I just rewatched it last night as like with the news. I was like, man, now I got to rewatch this movie. But he's like the nerdy kid in that movie that gets his balls bit by a tarantula. So that's what he's best known for right now. And now he is Adam Warlock, which, he's not like, an A-list character in Marvel or anything like that, but he's still a pretty recognizable name. And it'll be interesting to see how he goes forward. But yeah, so
it's weird because like part of me still feels.
No,
I was gonna say it's weird because part of me still feels.
I'm sorry, we're on a little bit of a delay here, but JVK's dad says,
Yeah,
holy crap, I didn't realize he was that kid. And Gustavo says, I love that movie. He's freaking funny in that movie. Yeah, he is. It is quite an amusing movie.
Yes. I was gonna say the thing that's weird to me though is that part of me still feels that he should have been in and should have been like a little more traditional to what happened in the original, situation with the Infinity Stones and with Thanos and all that. But then you got to ask yourself, you don't get that cool little Tony moment. So what would you rather have, the Tony moment or Adam Warlock being the one who showed up and dealt with stuff?
No, yeah, the Tony moment was dope for sure. You can't take away. Like, obviously, there's going to be a lot of changes between what we see in the comic books versus what we see on screen. So I get that. Yeah, I'm with you about how they fixed everything in comparison to Adam Warlock necessarily going inside the Soul Gem and doing his thing. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll just have to see how. I think James Gunn is going to bring this dude and have like just straight out the gate. He's not going to be a good dude, at least at first, for sure. I don't think he's going to be a good guy. He's being bred on this planet that they've already had to fight, that have already established themselves as kind of antagonists. They look like they were making him with malintent to begin with. So I really don't think that Warlock is going to come out the gate and be any kind of a hero necessarily, but I could be wrong.
He might kill Drax.
You say, "Oh, kill Drax"? That's right, because he's done with that role too now.
He might.
I think they're like
Dave Bautista's finished with that role.
With the roles, which would be stupid because, like, especially Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper, like, all they do is voice acting. I'm not gonna say like that's not a lot, but you know what I mean. In comparison to having to suit up and be strung from stuff, like the rest of them have to, do stunts and everything like that. What they're doing is voice acting. So I'm surprised they haven't announced like a Rocket and Groot Disney Plus series, or like all this other stuff. That all they got to do is get them in a sound booth for their parts. I don't think they would be done. But the rest of them, I think, are pretty much done, right?
I don't know. I didn't know that. But the thing is, what's funny about that, this could lead to a Disney Plus thing if the Guardians, for whatever reason, end up getting like some die and they end up getting split up or whatever. You can use that to fill in a gap of something and have a Disney Plus with Groot and Rocket and have them do their thing to either lead up to the Guardians getting back together, whoever's alive, or go from there. But the girl who plays Gamora and the guy who plays Star-Lord, they're done?
I'm not sure. I know Chris Pratt has been taking a lot of heat from the internet recently. Just I guess people hating on. I think we talked about it recently, haven't we? About how Chris Pratt, because he was casted as Mario voice acting. But
Yeah.
apparently I was unaware, but apparently the internet is not a big fan of Chris Pratt. So I don't know if he's continuing on or not. I don't know if he's made a statement or anything. I know Dave Bautista's made a statement. I don't think James Gunn necessarily is done making Marvel movies, but he might be done with Guardians movies. But yeah, I'm not sure. But I would love to see a Rocket and Groot miniseries. I think that would be phenomenal. Just them getting into space shenanigans and just whatever. Where like there's a Rocket comic series where it's basically like a heist. Like he's got to break out of a prison and steal a whole bunch of money from somewhere. And that series is freaking hilarious. If you guys have never read it, it's very funny. But yeah, it's just like little silly things like that. I think would work great instead of more what if episodes.
Because you are not a fan of the what if, man.
I was
hashtag bars. Yeah, I do think I do think I do think that after the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, you got me wondering. I really think this could be the perfect time for them to pull away and give Groot and Rocket their own little thing of Disney Plus or whatever you want to do. Probably be best at Disney Plus, because I'm still not for sure if giving them like their own movie would be the good idea. But giving them a series first to test the water and then maybe see how that goes later on, that would probably be a smarter thing to do. But I can definitely see Guardian of the Galaxy 3 having some type of crazy ending, or like I said, since Dave is done with the role, and he's been honestly saying this for years, and he's been like not liking a lot of things in Marvel. And anyway, I can see them killing Dave off pretty early on, killing Drax off very early on. Either that could be the first thing when Alan shows up. Drax running there, being all brave and stuff. Bam, kills him. Establish him right then and there as like, you don't want to fuck with this dude. Like, just flats out, just one shots him. Or he kills him later on or something like that. And then this could still lead up to like something happening where they either break up on some negative terms or they get stranded in different areas at the end of the movie. And before Rocket and Groot, they get stranded together. And then, or they get stranded close enough where they meet each other in the series and then continue on and like in the series or whatever, and then that leads into the next movie. You can have some fun with that. That's what I would personally do. Personally, I would have it end with them being apart from each other in some way, shape, or form, and them trying to either reunite. And if that's the case, you use Rocket and Groot as a Disney Plus series, and then at the end of the series, you can have like them actually reunite and then give the teaser for the fourth movie. That's what I would do. But
or even like building a new team or something, because there have been plenty of teams. There have been plenty of teams. It doesn't have to be that exact team. There have been a lot of different Guardians of the Galaxy teams that have existed throughout the years. Characters that they haven't even used, characters that most fans, would have no idea if I were to sit here and list their names, like who the fuck they are. So that's something that they could do too. And when they're out on their shit, just gathering these new people to kind of like put together into a new team.
Oh, let's put Spider-Gwen out there.
Spider-Gwen? Yeah, now you're gonna deal with Sony for all their shit. Sony is God.
I keep forgetting that Sony has the rights to them.
Yeah, I ain't even getting into the Sony shit today. Not today.
Not today, bro.
Not today. But yeah, so that was some exciting news that we get Adam Warlock. So yeah, woohoo.
Oh, real quick. I gotta ask you, what did you like? No, man. Maybe we talked. Did we talk about in the last episode? Did we talk about the final episode of the What If or no?
Yeah, we talked about it. I think we talked about it.
Oh, we did talk about the final episode. Okay.
Because it was just like,
do you think that
and everything? Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. The one thing I did want to bring up to ask you was did you at least laugh with what happened to Thanos, or did you find that disrespectful?
I don't even remember it.
So Thanos shows up. And soon as he comes in there, he's like, I'm here for this, blah, 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 blah. And he just literally looks at him, shoots a laser out, cuts him in half, and then he's dead. And he just continues on with his on.
Yep. I was like, all right. So Ultron could have killed Thanos.
Like, didn't they make Thanos like a chump? Like, he got jobbed out. Like, it's fine if you want to say he loses the fight, but to have him completely get jobbed like that, bro, I was like, damn. Like, it wasn't, like, I couldn't laugh. I was just like, that's, I actually felt bad for him. I was like, that's sad.
There did seem to be some recurring themes throughout What If. One, keep killing Tony Stark. And two, keep making Thanos look like a little bitch. And those two, like almost every episode that they were involved, that's kind of what happened. Tony died and Thanos looked like a little bitch. So, like, I'm not going to say I disliked the series because of that. I just disliked the series because I thought it was boring, except for the Doctor Strange episode. Everything else, like, I enjoyed some of the episodes. Most of them, though, I was just like, like it was just on. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't really engage me at all.
No, I fully agree. Same here. It didn't. It didn't. And they also made Hawkeye look completely useless because Natasha was able to just do what Hawkeye do and seem like she did it better. And it was just like, so why do y'all even need him on the team? Because because let's call it what it is. In reality, he shoots his little bows. It's cute, but do you think that Black Widow couldn't do it too? Like honestly, if you gave Black Widow a bow, do you really think there's anything? I'm talking about just the MCU version. I'm not necessarily talking about the comics. Because in the comics, he actually has some pretty interesting feats. He has some really, really cool. I mean, my man basically gets gunned down and he's like, I can still go. He has some cool feats. But in the MCU, seriously, what can he do that Black Widow can't do? And she could probably do it better.
Right.
So in the grand scheme of things, like, what do you really need for other than that extra body? Just like that extra meat shield, basically. Like, outside of that, I'm pretty sure if you gave him a bow, he keeps his bow, and Natasha has a bow, my money would be on her outperforming him.
Okay.
So, and then What If definitely made it was like, oh no, she's the one that's gonna get the big shot, and she just hits it, and I'm just like, yep, Hawkeye is completely useless. Cool.
Awesome. I guess we'll have to see with the new Hawkeye show exactly how useless
you will. I'm not watching that.
Oh, you'll watch
I have decided I'm not watching it. I have no interest, so you will watch it, and I will discuss things off of what you say. But outside of that, bro, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna start telling you like the most random shit. You're gonna be like, "What happened to this episode?" And you're like, "Dude, it was crazy, bro. You will not believe what happened." All right. So look,
and then I'm gonna look that shit up. I'm gonna look at the next episode and be like, everything Jay's told me is probably a lie because they're not referencing any of it. Motherfucker.
I'll be like, look, Miles Morales showed up, right? And Hawkeye was like, I can't stand this kid, and doesn't take an arrow, right? He just takes a brick and starts beating the shit out of Miles Morales. You're gonna be like, hold up.
Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I trust you so much, James, that I'm going to believe you. But at the same time, like, he has to be lying. This can't be right. There's a disturbance in the force.
And I'll be like, look, you would not believe what happened in this episode. Hawkeye, Clint, teaches Kate Bishop how to change a tampon. And they're like, what?
Whoa, wait a minute. Like, wait a minute. How is this holiday enjoyment? That was the whole episode. I'm like, how the hell is this show still going on?
Because he grabs it and he's like,
was there episode 3?
He's like, Season's greetings, bitch. And that's it. That's the episode.
I'm like, wait a minute. How old is this girl? She don't know how to do that herself? How old is this little girl? What the hell is going on here?
It's part of her training.
This is too
Chris.
much, brother. Part of her training. Yo, the Hawkeye need to go to jail because there's some creepy training going on here. I'm disturbed.
Hawkeye shoots it in from his arrow. He just fucking.
Yo, man, what the fuck?
I can't. So why are we always making these jokes about Hawkeye too? Like, we are so disrespectful.
Yo, most of the time it's you. Most of the time you lead into some crazy joke like this.
You're right. You know what? Speaking of Hawkeye, I do want the episode. Not the episode. I do want the comic. I think it's like a Hawkeye 6 or 7 or something. But there's a Hawkeye comic about the dog. It's like all from the dog's point of view. It's basically like a silent issue. Just kind of follow. I really want it, but it's like it's so expensive online right now because the dog showed up in the fucking trailer, and I'm like, God damn it. I want it to want it. Everyone wants it to flip it, but I have to see if I can find it somewhere for a somewhat reasonable price. Because I think it's a really cool comic book just in general. But yeah, that's one I'm gonna have to look for. But if the Hawkeye's dog ends up being
a lot of times when they
interesting part of the show, then I'm gonna be upset.
He's the true main character of the series. Hawkeye and Kate was just there. No, a lot of times when they do perspectives like that in comics and even in anime too, those be some lit episodes or comics like or mangas panels. Like they be pretty cool a lot of times. Yeah. They do. I don't know. They do a good job on stuff like that because I guess it's just interesting sometimes to see the view of the other person, even if it's an animal. Like just because definitely an animal is gonna be much more like, I guess, not as crazed out as a person when they're doing their point of view. It's gonna be a little more honest, I guess you can think in a lot of ways. So I don't know. It's just interesting when you see their point of view. Because that stuff is always interesting.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I want the book. But the internet has decided to scalp that book to a ridiculous price now. So I'm just like, missed my chance for now. As soon as the show comes out and as soon as the show's off the air or whatever, that book will go back down to where I can buy it and just put it on my shelf to have. So that's what I'm gonna have to wait on.
You know, next week I think we should definitely we'll probably brainstorm about it, but I think we should definitely go into hopefully we don't have no other crazy news about some coach doing some crazy, because 2 weeks ago these coaches seem to be doing some crazy stuff. But I think we should definitely like
destroying their computer and shit. They're like, delete everything.
Delete everything. Oh God. I think we should definitely brainstorm some comics to talk about next week.
Okay.
As well as some anime stuff too. I think that would be a really fun episode.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be some fun stuff.
You have to text me. I'm gonna be in Detroit, so I'll try to read from my tablet, whatever I can read. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
For sure. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you. If you're still hanging with us, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We love you for it. Smash that heart button. And we will be back next Tuesday, same time on 8 o'clock Eastern. And as always, we ask you to stay villainous and